We'll hold here to cover your back. Then we'll escort the medical personnel when you've retrieved them.
Hi folks, and welcome back. Something a little bit different today, but lots of reasons behind the video, which we'll get onto in just a moment. So you're watching Tom Clancy's The Division. It's something I've fancied playing for quite a while. If you watch me on Circ on stream, you'll know I've asked him about it a few times as well, trying to convince myself that I can lay out the money and get hold of this thing. And it's actually pretty damn good. But we'll talk more about that in a moment. There's lots of reasons why I'm showing you this today. And if you've been following my Facebook and Twitter accounts recently, you'll know that I've also upgraded the PC. Got a brand new NVIDIA GTX 970 graphics card, which is very nice. And since then I also got an i7 4790K processor to give it a bit more oomph. And all these things are kind of tied together in a roundabout sort of a way, and none of them were particularly planned for taking place this month. But anyway, we'll get on to how that's all come about in just a moment. You carry on watching a bit of footage from The Division in the background. This is me playing through the mission that unlocks the medical wing for your base, I think, which allows you to upgrade various skills on the medical side after that. Anyway, more about that as we go through. I'm still very much learning the game, so bear with me. But how did I come to get hold of The Division? Well, let's go back a little bit. Oh, before I start about that, the quality of the video you're watching in. I know you're used to watching my videos or me putting them up as available in full, was it 1920 full HD, 1080p HD, 60 frames a second. This one is in 720 HD and 60 frames a second. And there's a reason for that. It's because I've been testing some video settings out for streaming. And this is the sort of quality I'd be able to stream at if I was going to stream to YouTube gaming, because of course I'm not partnered with Twitch, so I could put up high quality stuff on there, but the bitrate would be so low that it wouldn't look very clever until I got partnered, and that might be a long way off. So you're watching in 720p here, which I think looks all right considering the bitrates, but don't worry, that's not going to be a permanent thing. This is a bit of a streaming test to see if my rig would be able to stream a game like this and put out the video at a decent quality at a fair bitrate so people can follow it and download it. More about that in a minute. Let's get back to the point about how I got hold of The Division. I've quite fancied this game for a while. I've watched Circon play it on his stream. I watched a few videos, a few other guys as well. And it's my sort of game. It's got guns. Oh, and we'll just watch this. This is a sticky bomb. This is awesome. Stick that to people and blow them up. That's the sort of shit I really, really love doing. And as you watch in the background, you're going to see me totally mess this bit up as I really fumble about with the controls in a moment. But anyway, why did I get this? Two reasons. One, I've really fancied it for a while and I've been trying to justify paying the money for it, but I like this sort of game. I like online RPGs, I like games, MMOs that you level up and skill up and group together to do encounters and things, and I like guns. But I've been umming and ahhing about spending the money on it. And also for the last 6 months, I've been planning a graphics card upgrade. I've been looking at the NVIDIA 970s, been wanting one for quite a while, and I've been waiting, hoping that the price would drop since about last October, wondering if there'd be a new model come out which would then drop down the price of the 970s. It never actually happened, and over in the last couple of weeks I was checking out The Division and thinking I should buy that, and suddenly remembered, quite often when you buy a new graphics card it comes with a free download of some game or other. I got Watch Dogs through my last graphics card. It was an NVIDIA 760. Which is alright and doing the job quite well, but I thought, aha, I'll go and check it out, and sure enough, new purchases of 970 come with a copy of The Division, so that pretty much settled it. Although the 970s hadn't dropped in price, I was effectively getting a £40 game with it that I was thinking of buying anyway, so hey, I'll take that. And this is about the point in the game where I totally stuff it up and try and dive into cover and dive into a pile of crap in the corner of here. Look at this. Yeah, not my finest hour. And then panic and run and try and hide behind this desk, and then find that the desk doesn't actually give me any cover. And then I was trying to switch weapons to something with more ammo, tried to dive over the desk, and totally ballsed it up. But I survived and finally get a weapon and some health back, and back in the fight. So I got myself the 970 that I'd been after for quite some time. Very nice upgrade. And I got myself a copy of The Division, which is also something I've been after. So all in all, I'm pretty happy, and that's very good. And then recently, as you've seen some other games on my channel, I've been playing Master of Orion from Wargaming. That's going pretty well. I'm quite enjoying that. And a game like that, and The Division as well, there's no reason why I can't live stream them, assuming that my rig's up to it. Get onto that in a moment. But they're the sort of games that to make the videos I have to play through anyway, and then put parts of it together. Like in Master of Orion, I've been doing a Let's Play, and just basically just putting that up as a series. And I'm thinking, well, why don't I just live stream this stuff anyway if I'm doing similar things, and I can still use bits of the footage to make other videos of it and things like that. And live streaming is something I've talked about before and fancied having a go at. Just never really got round to it or had the time to do it. And in the background there's another one of those moments where I totally bollocks everything up. But I do come through it, just. It gets a bit close though. Diving into cover in this game is quite fun, and someone's throwing grenades around here. It's getting a bit hectic, but diving into cover is very much fun when you've got somewhere to dive into. When you go headfirst into a wall, it's not quite so effective. So that brings me on to live streaming, and I've been doing a bit of research between Twitch and YouTube gaming and all the rest of it. And it's not just a case of being able to play the game at a decent frame rate and being able to put that out. You've got to compress the video, or encode the video rather, and upload it at whatever bit rates are available for upload. Now I'm quite lucky, I've got a pretty good fibre connection. I can upload at up to 20 megabits or megabytes or whatever it is, and it's that bit's not the problem. It's the platform that you're uploading to, and you can't upload at really high bit rate, especially to Twitch. If you're non-partnered on Twitch, the maximum I think you can upload at is a bit rate of 3500, which is, it gets enough to get a decent looking stream. However, that's the maximum, and then because as a non-partner on Twitch you don't have quality controls on there or quality options for the video. Your viewers don't get that, so they have to basically watch it at whatever you're uploading to, and if people are watching it on a poor internet connection, they're not going to manage that. So you have to drop the bit rate down a bit. And this is all a roundabout way of me getting round to saying that basically I had to upgrade the processor as well, because for my regular videos I use Shadowplay, which is very good, NVIDIA Shadowplay. It's brilliant at recording. It's a hardware encoder, it means it doesn't put any strain on your CPU, and it doesn't really make much difference, doesn't drop down your frame rate much. Not that I've noticed in-game as well. I've always managed to maintain 60 frames a second, which is my sort of benchmark, my limit. So anyway, using something like OBS to broadcast up to YouTube gaming or Twitch, and it uses a lot of CPU up. Now, depending on the game, this isn't a problem. Like, I could manage it on World of Tanks. I could actually stream that. That one would go up fine. In this one, it doesn't, because this is at the moment, it's a very CPU-intensive game. And it's a bit of a bug in the system, I think, because even people with more powerful CPUs than me are getting into situations where the processor just can't, well, it just hits out at 100%, which means you've got nothing left to do the video encoding that you're trying to stream with. Now, that's using OBS and an X264 video codec, whereas I've been using Shadowplay to do all my video recordings. It's fantastic. However, you can use the NVIDIA encoder, which Shadowplay does, but to get good quality out of Shadowplay, I use a bit rate of about 50,000, which does a fantastic job. Doesn't have any impact on the system. You get big video files, but that's not a problem when I'm just uploading YouTube videos, right? If I was to try and stream that, it wouldn't even go up my available bandwidth. And when you cut the NVIDIA encoder, or Shadowplay's encoder, down to a bit rate of 3500 or less, the video looks like shit. Absolutely. So basically, we get back to the point, that's why I've had to upgrade the processor, so I can stream decent games, looking pretty decent still, using a software encoder, i.e. X264, which does a much better job for the same available bitrate. I hope all this makes sense. It didn't make much sense to me until I started looking into this a week or so ago, and it's all become perfectly clear now. So, to get to the point of the whole matter, I've had to upgrade the entire computer almost, more than I was intending to, just so I can possibly stream a few games on it. But that's something I'd been looking to do anyway, so why not get into it? And that was a bit of a scary moment. When you're playing this game, you're crouching behind cover and suddenly someone comes running at you with a baseball bat, It's normally when I'm in the middle of a reload and it catches me out altogether. Right, so that's the reason behind the 720p video, behind me upgrading the graphics card and the processor, and it's the reason why I ended up playing The Division and quite enjoying it. And I hope all that makes sense, and I'm not quite ready for live streaming yet because I've got a few little tweaks to do. For one thing, processor's running a little bit hot because I'm using the old Cooler Master Evo heatsink from the old one, which is up to the job, but I stuck it on with some really shitty old thermal paste that I've had kicking around in my office for ages. As you know, I think I repair PCs for a living, and this stuff I don't know what it was. It was some Zalman paste, which isn't a bad make, but it's something I've had kicking around for years. I can't remember when I got it, and it's not that great, and it kind of separated in the little tub before I used it, but I thought, hey, what the hell, I'll use it anyway. And the processor's running fine, it's within its limits, but I'd rather it was running a bit cooler, so I'm going to get some better stuff and make a better job of that. Get everything running nice. There's a few other little things I need to sort out before I start streaming as well, but it's definitely on the cards and I'm quite looking forward to it. But The Division, back to the point of this. I don't know if you've seen or played any of this yourselves, but it's a game I really, really like. Third-person shooter, more of a MMO RPG sort of element to it. And there's me messing up the dive into cover again. Then just a straight shooty game, like a Call of Duty type. You basically level up, get experience, you upgrade your loot or your gear. You choose skills and perks and talents, just like you would in an MMO like World of Warcraft, for example. And you group up together with other players to take on various hard instances, like the equivalent of doing raids or dungeons or things like that, or world bosses in other games. And they're all elements I like combined with guns. And I like the cover system, I like the graphics, I like the grenades, and I like the stuff. Oh, it's just good. It's my sort of thing. So you'll no doubt see a few more videos of it on the channel. And you maybe see a bit of it live stream. And this is a panic moment. Get him, get him, get him. Whoa, that was close. And another one. Shit. That was close. Anyway, yeah, I really like the game. And it's going to be one of those games that plays very well in groups and with company when you're teaming up. And each of you takes a bit of a role, or one of you distracts the enemy while somebody else shoots them. And that would work pretty well here. This is pretty much the end of the mission. And it's a boss fight. See that guy right at the back? Hutch, he's the level 4 boss. See that by the big yellow health bar over him? He's got a great big machine gun, which he every now and again has to change the drum on and reload, and that's when I get a bit of peace and quiet to shoot his henchmen. But I'm going to have to take him out soon as well. And you can see his health bar just off to the right there. 4 white... No, there's more than that, isn't there? 6 white bars across the top. That's his armour. You don't actually damage his health until his armour's all gone. There's a few bosses like that. You see him plugging away at me there. Keep my head down while the machine gun's firing. And then, yep, sticky bomb in the face. We remotely detonate that. That just doesn't get old. I love doing that. That's one of the skills, by the way, and you can choose it right from the start of the game. There's several other skills. One is a pulse, which you basically... You send out a pulse and it highlights enemies and allies on the map, which is pretty useful. And the other skill is a big riot shield, but when you equip that, you basically get cover that you can run around with, but you can only use your little pistol at the same time. So it's situational, and I've found it more of a nuisance at the moment when I'm ducking in and out of cover using that thing. The sticky bombs are just, oh, they're just good fun. You know what I'm like by now. You watch my World of Tanks videos. I love derping people. I love setting people on fire, blowing things up. Yeah, it's just me. Anyway, keep our head down for a moment. And you can see I've not touched that guy yet, but I have dealt with his henchmen. So now, with a few controlled bursts, I can start putting some rounds into Hutch here. And he's only giving me the top of his head to shoot at whilst he's in cover. And the bullets start flying, and I duck back down. So you can see my health just to the right of the character there. 3 health bars, they do go down. As long as you only take a couple of shots, like I have there, so it hasn't got rid of a full health bar. If I duck back into cover and don't take any more hits, that'll recover quite nicely. There he goes, going back up there. I'm just priming a sticky bomb, aim at his head. I think I've stuck that on his cover, which didn't have the effect I was hoping for. Doesn't matter, the skill recharges pretty fast. Put a few rounds into him, duck down, heal up. I thought maybe moving from side to side might just fool him a bit, so I ducked back up, and it did seem to take him a little while to re-aim, but no, he's back on me. And I did have one attempt before this where I messed it up and got wiped out. So this is the second attempt. I learned from my mistakes, hopefully. So just zoomed in. I've got a scope on this gun. You can mod all the weapons as well, of course. So whatever weapon you have, you can stick lots of different mods on it to improve things. That was a scope, which gives me the option to zoom in like that. Of course, you lose a bit of your peripheral vision when that's going on. It's easy to get caught out. Here we go with the sticky bomb again. Oh, I think we've landed out on his head. Look at that. He's panicking. Yeah, modding weapons. You can add other things. You can have extended magazines for extra ammo. Little foregrips to increase the stability and accuracy. It's pretty much like an MMO where you used to be able to put enchantments on your weapons, or you can, and indeed you can craft your own weapons and things in this. Although I haven't got into that yet. I'm only level 5. Currently the level cap's 30, that's probably going to be expanded in future expansions and downloadable content for the game, I would imagine. But it's pretty good. There is also a PvP element to this as well. There's the Dark Zone, which you can go into and basically take part in fights against other agents and things, and there's also big bosses in there and all sorts of things to do, and that's something I will certainly be exploring as I level up. But for the moment I'm just going to play this and enjoy it, and if you'd like to see more of it on the channel, then please do let me know, and maybe if any of you guys play it, we could at some point when I'm streaming do some group things, something like that. How does that sound? If it's the sort of thing you're interested in, would like to see, then let me know in the comments, because it does help me out. Anyway, this is pretty much the end of the video. I'm going back to enjoy the benefits of just unlocking this medical wing when I hand the mission in. So I'll leave you with that for now. Let me know your thoughts on everything I've talked about in the video, and hopefully I'll see you for some more of The Division in the near future.